everybody. I'm Chris Brown. This is News Channel 3 at 6. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. In a surprising turn of events, the U.S. Supreme Court today turned away appeals from 5 states seeking to prohibit same-sex marriages, reveals that an armed intruder got farther than previously reported.
We've been taking fire from Taliban compound.
This just in, the Army is searching for a suspect after an active shooter was reported at a West Texas military hospital. The wind gusts are picking up to about 66 miles an hour. It's exactly what hundreds did at the Shell Island Resort this weekend. Daniel, despite what could have been nasty weather, it actually held out here. We asked Principal Norval about the low teacher survey results hit by an IED 2 weeks ago. She is live in downtown Wilmington. Day two into 2015. Check out for those pipes, too. Senator Hagan and Speaker Tillis going head-to-head.
So they spotted the guy that was shooting at us.
No snow, but a clear Christmas.
Definitely no snow, that's for sure.
Now on WWAY at 11, one boy has a very special Christmas wish involving his grandpa. Does Santa come through? And the latest on the pastor stabbed at a church in Castle Hayne. Plus, a message of support for 24 hours as a man stood outside the Burgaw Courthouse. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for your news at 11. I'm Chris Brown. Daniel and Mackenzie have the night off. We'll get to our top story in just a moment. First, this just in. Former President George H.W. Bush has been hospitalized. A spokesman says Bush was taken by ambulance to a Houston hospital after experiencing shortness of breath and will be held for observation as a precaution. Bush is 90 years old and served as the nation's 41st president. He spent nearly 2 months in the same hospital and was discharged in January of 2013 after treatment for a bronchitis-related cough and other health issues. Now to our top story. 24 hours after his quest began, a Pender County man says he did what he could to show support for law enforcement. Ferris Leonard sat 24 straight hours on the lawn of the Pender County Courthouse, and tonight he's home with quite a story to tell. 24 hours of remembrance.
It's somebody seeing something, and hopefully they'll make a difference. Maybe they'll do something.
24 hours of thank yous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If nobody would have come, it'd have been worth it.
But they did come to show their support for law enforcement, an idea Ferris Leonard dreamed up just this past Sunday. By Monday at 6 p.m., he was here on the lawn of the Pender County Courthouse, where he stayed for 24 hours, waving to the honkers, gracious for everyone's support. Has your message been heard?
I think it has. It's a positive message. We're out here for a positive message.
A message of support for law enforcement as a whole, as well as those affected by the recent tragedy in New York. A tragedy that for some in the crowd, hits close to home.
Just seeing the chaos they're going through up there, it just tears at my heart.
Because New York was home for him, an NYPD officer, 20 years retired.
I mean, law enforcement never looks for any reward for anything, but they do appreciate it when we are appreciated.
It's appreciation that brought out the emotion in everyone.
I'm just emotional because I'm thankful my husband came home, and it's hard to see other families not have that.
And in Wilmington, 5 people braved the foggy weather today to say thank you to our officers. The small group stood outside of Wilmington Police Headquarters for hours to show their support for law enforcement. They say it's important to show gratitude to the men and women who put their lives on the line for our safety. They say when officers saw what they were doing, they stopped to thank them and give hugs. Officers even brought the group coffee and goodie bags to show just how thankful they were for that support. Well, 2 people are dead after someone set fire to a Wilmington home early this morning. It happened just after 5 o'clock in the 1900 block of Lingo Street. The fire also sent 3 people to the hospital. Calls from neighbors poured in to the 911 center. Fire caused more than $100,000 in damage to the home. Wilmington police and the SBI are investigating, looking for who set the fire and why. No word yet on the victims' names. The pastor stabbed at the Castle Hayne Advent Christian Church this morning is out of the hospital. The New Hanover County Sheriff's Office says a man walked into the church and demanded money from Pastor Randall Smith. When Smith said he had none, that's when deputies say the man stabbed him and fled. Church members say he is recovering. One woman who goes to the church says she just cannot believe this happened. Deputies say the attacker is a white male with a long beard in his 30s or 40s and was wearing a black hoodie with a camo jacket over top. The Brunswick County Sheriff's Office is looking for two men they say robbed a gas station. It happened around 9:30 last night. Two men wearing ski masks got away with money and the cashier's purse at the Citgo in Calabash. We're told one man had a gun and that the cashier was assaulted during the robbery and treated for minor injuries. If you know anything, call the Sheriff's Office. A Wilmington man is accused of trying to destroy a building he owns to collect insurance money. Investigators with Wilmington Police and the Department of Insurance say that 75-year-old David Rowan was conspiring to burn down the building at 1202 Chestnut Street in an effort to collect more than $530,000. The building houses a convenience store and two occupied apartment units. He was arrested yesterday. Eastern storms are affecting this season's holiday travel. At Wilmington International Airport, a cancellation in and out of Charlotte this morning and several other delays. Operations Manager Gary Taylor says delays are about 40 minutes. He also says many people are flying with more luggage and just to be mindful of how you pack your gifts. One man said his son's plane had to stop in Tennessee because of weather before it finally arrived late in Wilmington. So for tonight's online poll question, we wanted to know, what are your plans for Christmas? Top three answers are 74% say you're staying home, 14% say you're traveling, and 5%, if you're like me, you're working. Thanks to everybody who took the time to vote. After the break, Chief Meteorologist Scott Dean will have a look at your holiday forecast. Plus, a missing boy with special needs is safe at home now thanks to a four-legged officer. And from top dog to top giver, how a man honors his late wife and makes the day for some lucky shoppers. And forget the sleigh and reindeer, Santa found a different way to drop in on kids at a children's hospital.
A few strong storms.
No snow, but a clear Christmas.
Definitely
That's
no
good.
snow, that's for sure. Not a wet Christmas either.
Absolutely. Thanks, Scott. Well, a Florida boy with special needs is back in the arms of his family thanks to a canine officer named Amber. The little boy wandered off, prompting a frantic search with a happy and furry ending. Lauren Korn has the story. I bet they are. Sports is next on News Channel 3 at 11. We have Tuesday afternoon college basketball that involves Kevin Keatts and the UNCW Seahawks. We'll check out the matinee hoops, plus a holiday tournament that featured the Laney Buccaneers. Welcome back. A Connecticut grandfather is getting a gift from Santa that he will likely never forget. Lee Otero is receiving a day off from his job, and he has his grandson to thank. Jason Frazier reports. How cool is that? An Iowa man is trying to inspire others while honoring his late wife. Dave Freese spent his afternoon at a local mall handing out $20 bills with cards with his wife's picture. The cards read in part, "Kim, my angel, inspired me to give this to you. I hope she inspires you as well." He says he just wanted to see smiles and for people to be kind to each other. Here's a visit from St. Nick, except he didn't come down the chimney, but the side of a building. You see him there. Kids at a children's hospital in Portland, Oregon were thrilled yesterday and probably scared too. They watched and waved as window washers dressed as Santa and his elves rappelled down the side of the hospital. The building services company says they do it every year. Even though the kids got a surprise, business continued. The windows did get washed in the process. Skytop Lodge in Pennsylvania has a treat tucked away inside the resort for visitors throughout the entire holiday season. A life-size gingerbread house sits just off the main lobby in the Pocono Resort. It's about 3,500 pounds of gingerbread and about 150 pounds of icing. It's topped off with candy and a whole lot of goodies, and they get this started. They started mixing the dough back in September. That's impressive. Scott will have another look at the holiday forecast. Plus, she had a baby in a van while her husband was speeding down the road. And do you know where the best Christmas lights in the area are, or do you want to show off your own? You can report it. Log on to WWAYTV3.com and click on the Report It page. There you can use our NewsHawk tool to upload a picture or video and tag it with the location. We may share it on TV.
Off.
Clear weather, a Christmas present for us, I guess.
I hope so. I'll try to do that.
Absolutely. Well, an early Christmas present for an expectant mother and father. In Iowa, a baby girl was born 4 days early.
She's coming out.
Jessica Thurman says it was only about 20 minutes between when she woke up from a nap with contractions. Scott's making noises over here. And when she delivered her baby sitting upright in a van, her husband called 911 as, of course, they were speeding down the highway hoping to meet an ambulance. They couldn't. It was too late. There she is. Ariel Rose Thurman was born at 4:23 Friday afternoon in the passenger seat of that van. Paramedics met them at an exit ramp and took them to the hospital. Mom and baby are said to be doing just fine.
What a cute little peanut there.
Absolutely. And that's a story they won't soon forget either. That's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Good Morning Carolina starts at 6 a.m.